and welcome to the Digital CxO podcast. I'm Amanda Razani. I'm excited to be here today with the Workleap co-founder and chief innovation officer, GR. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Amanda. Thanks for having me.
Can you share a little bit about Workleap? What does your company provide?
Yeah, that's for sure. So Workleap, we are a SaaS company. So basically we do software to help organization to build a better employee experience and to make work simpler. So our software or services goes all around the employee experience. So from the first day someone is hired, we help them become productive from day one. And then we do everything around engagement and recognition. So analyzing employee engagement, making sure that people recognize themselves, performance management as well. So making sure that everyone stays on top of their game all along the journey with the company. And we have various, and we have the learning aspect too. So helping every people to keep developing themselves during their life cycle with the business. So it's large. We have a lot of different product and place, but this is something that we see as mostly small and medium mid-market type of businesses are looking for, and to be a good, let's say, number. We have to call ourselves the number one add-on on top of your, let's say, basic HR system, so payroll, benefits, and stuff. So we are the all-in-one for everything else to create a good employee experience.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Well, that means you're the person to talk to about our topic today, which is vanishing workplace data. And HR is losing a lot of data about its employees. And you feel that this is a problem because there's a lot of great information there that could help companies. So can you share a little bit about that and what you're seeing?
Yeah, for sure. So it's fun because most of the time I meet with HR people. So the people that is strictly focused on people. And now I know the pod is more around IT professional. I have a dual background, so I'm an IT, an engineer from my training, and I've worked a lot in that field. But then for the last 10 years, I've been building stuff for HR people. So I have a specific view on the topic. So the way I'm seeing it is that since hybrid work or remote work for some organizations started a couple of years back. So our digital footprint just grew year over year. So just as a key stat, let's say, so we see that around 300 million terabytes of data is created every day in organization. So that's a lot of data. This thing or this context makes it really harder to manage your people, to get a better sense of how they are doing online. They are not always at the office. You don't have all of these small habits or small things that people does as a manager and presence with your team, let's say, and things like that. So the job of knowing your people, managing your people, managing performance of your people became really harder with all of these data. So second revolution is obviously AI. I won't be the first talking about that in this year in the upcoming episode, but AI is a good way to analyze a lot of data and get a sense out of it. So what we do or what we are working on is how can we analyze all of the digital footprint of every worker. Obviously, we specialize with knowledge workers, so people working on the computer. That don't necessarily, it's not necessarily true for every type of worker, but let's say for knowledge worker, me, you, the audience right now. So people that is interested in that, like, how can we look at all of these documents, this data, and get a sense of what's going on in the business? So from from the first day someone came in to the last day, let's say, what happened, and so forth. So the goal there is to connect to all your internal system. And then with AI, we analyze everything. We get some insights around people, like employees, their experience, how they collaborate with each other and everything. And then get some insights and take action on that.
So for company leaders who want to implement AI to get these better data insights, what is step one?
Yeah, that's a great question, and this is something that I've been working a lot internally as well at Workleap. So I think that the good first step to really leverage AI to get some insights for your teams is really. So I will just explain what I'm currently doing, and I think it will help people to understand. So basically, the goal is to have like a clean sources of data, and we know it's not that easy for every business. So Workleap is an 18-year business. We grew. Let's say we had 2 acquisitions in the past 2 years. Every time you change a business, you have new people, new systems coming in, and things like that. So just a basic example. So we have let's say 5 CRMs inside the business as of today. So if you have 5 CRMs, the data is a little bit scattered in every system, and it's really hard to get a good sense of what's going on. And then ultimately, the goal would be to automate stuff based on these data. So the first step that I always suggest is to clean up your mess, or clean up your data system or data architecture. So consolidating your internal system, making sure put some processes in place to make sure that the data is actually good, because it's not because you only have one system that the data is good. So making sure that you put some processes in place to help having like a good quality of data. So setting up your business to have a good data quality, and then implementing solution like Workleap on top of that would be way better. Obviously, there is also some product that can help you do that, but this is definitely step 1 would be to clean up your mess. But I say it in with a smile, in the sense that it will never be perfect, but at least having clear guidelines on how you want to have your data set up, and then it will be way more easier to set up some tech on top of that.
Okay, and so then once they've started this process and they're in that integration phase, what are some things you've seen companies struggle with during that implementation phase?
Yeah, I think like we just talked, I think the data quality is definitely the ultimate things. We've been talking about it like for 10 years, 20 years. You probably had some podcasts on that subject a couple of years back and things like that. But I think it's and this type of project is always hard to get funded, in the sense that, okay, I have a big $1 million project to clean up like the data and all of the system, things like that. So it's really hard to get something. But I think what we need to remember is, before that, it was mostly for analyzing data. So having some good report or operational report around like the data that you have. But now with AI, you'll actually be able to automate and take real decision and apply those decisions live. So let's say it's $1 million investment. So you'll be able to automate stuff that will probably save you $1 million in the future. And we see this trend coming in a lot of specific vertical. Let's say customer success is a good example of that. We see a support center starting to analyze, let's say, support the tickets and everything, and be able to answer the customer automatically, having a better response. And so it's faster. So it's good for the customer. It's good for your business, because you don't need to do all that repetitive work. And I think it's also good for the customer, in the sense that they have a faster response. And when you escalate the thing, so basically for people that is working behind these AI thing, they can actually take the time to look at the situation and find like, okay, what's going on there. So that's one vertical. On our side, we work mostly with the employees, but this is a good parallel to do. And this is the type of thing that I think we'll see in various type of worker and departments in the upcoming years.
Mm-hmm. So for the future, AI is advancing rapidly. What do you see for HR and the workplace that you envision AI being used for employee data retention or anything?
Yeah. So I think I will start with the most obvious thing, and one of my favorite topic as well. So performance reviews, performance management. this is, in my opinion, it's one example, but this is, I think, the one that will speak to everyone here. So doing performance reviews, performance management, it's not that fun and it's pretty hard. A couple of things around that subject. So when I say that it's hard, it's like, okay, you need to gather some information about, normally companies do the 360 feedback. So basically they ask feedback for the individual, the employee, some peers, and the manager. Then the manager takes all of that feedback, try to get a sense of it, ask follow-up question, and try to make his mind on that. The manager does a review. The review is validated by the organization in the big scheme of thing, and then you meet with your employee to discuss those results and that. So this is a process where a lot of pieces of information and a lot of some bias as well, but a lot of potential error can happen during the analysis. And obviously, the ultimate outcome of that is most of the time a salary review for the employee, which is one or the most important things for every employee. So the whole process designed to review a salary, it's kind of critical to most of our organization. So I believe AI and having access to the full digital footprint of each employee will help bonify this process in a lot of ways. Let's say we'll be able to get facts around people rather than impressions. We'll be able to go a year, let's say a 12-month history, instead of relying on your memory of, let's say, a couple of weeks, a month max. So basically, you'll be able to have a full picture of the time frame of your performance management. You, as a manager, when you manage 5, 10, 15 people, and then you have, let's say, 100 feedback to analyze and digest and things like that, it takes a couple of hours per person if you want to do the job properly. But with AI is very good at looking at the different point of view from employees to peers, to manager, find the problem, the difference with the rest of the team. So being able to assess like these insights instantly will really save the problem, will really save some time to the managers. And ultimately, and I think this is the most important part, so when you meet an employee with all the work that you did, I think the discussion, this is where you can have the most impact on your business, like having a good performance discussion at the end of the day, and having the backup and the tools and everything to support that discussion. This is where like employees will either not go against the business, but either be mad or happy and move forward and help your business to grow. So this is one example. I could reapply like the same type of logic for employee engagement, recognition, learning, experience, things like that. But this is one thing that I truly believe that can be completely changed with AI and data.
Wonderful. Well, if there was one key takeaway you could leave our audience with today, what would that be?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say that I think that the business in the future will thrive if you start like looking at the best way to change the way you operate and you do your business today. So I think it's more like, I don't want to be a bad prophet, but like I feel like business that will thrive in the future are the one that are getting started to really change how they work today. So this is for me, this is what I'm building. It's at Workleap, and I truly believe that AI is about to really change how, let's say, knowledge worker type of business or department, let's say within business work, and will be performing in the future.
Absolutely. It will be interesting to see how the future unfolds. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show and sharing your insights with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda.
All right, and thanks to our audience. Stay tuned. There's more.